one of the things that most artists are asked by people that don't draw is, where do you start? Where do you actually start from? Do you start from an eye or from a foot and so on? But really you start by the shape that occurs that the figure is making. Let's take the simplest part of the figure, the head. Now the head is generally an oval type shape. So let's start with an oval. At the moment it's just a flat object, but if we put some shade on it, so the lighting is coming from one direction, then it begins to have form. And of course a shadow would be cast that side too, because the light is coming from that direction. And you will get a certain amount of light creeping in from the side here, simply because this thing is standing out in relief from the background, so that there will always be a side light from somewhere. It may be a wall of the side, it may be a reflection of a mirror, it can be anything, but there will be some light oozing in from the side. Now let's go on to the next stage of this, and if we take a figure, and we'll take this head that I've drawn as an oval just about here, but the figure, because I'm seeing somebody posing in a certain style, the shoulders may be that way, the arm I see going down here, and this may be sweeping back, and therefore that area here this can be the leg going in this direction. The other leg I may see going in this direction. So when people say, where do you start from? I'm starting from the geometrical shape that I see. And the geometrical shape that I'm seeing there is a triangle going from here to there to there. And if I get this triangle right, then the figure will follow, and hopefully that will become right as well. Now let's for the moment go back to the first one, and now we're back to this oval which has become an egg, and now we're going to develop it into an actual face. This is where mathematics come into it, because with mathematics you get proportions, you get distances. For example, we know anatomically that the eyes fall about halfway between the chin and the top of the head. So let's say that's here. The mouth would become about here. Now I say about because every face that everyone has, although they're made up of the same composites, the difference between them is the distances which occur between different parts. Generally speaking, an ear begins from the eyebrow down to the nostrils. This changes slightly, but it's the slightness which is the difficulty, because if you're drawing two people and you're hoping that you've got their likenesses well, the difference is those proportions which occur between one or the other. We take the nose, at the moment it's just a shape, but it's got to stand out towards you. So therefore, if the shadow is going in this direction due to the light on this nose occurs that side, whilst the shadow is that side and it's casting a shadow. We get the nostril in. We take a mouth. and the mouth has got form because the lower lip is being hit by the light. The upper lip in this case is in shadow. The lower lip casts a touch of shadow under it, and there's a bit more shadow under this chin. The cheekbone takes form. The eyes cast a shadow just below them slightly, not as much as here, because that is a flatter area than the nose, which of course is coming out towards you. We may have the expression where the eyes are looking in this direction, so we'd have the pupil that side. There's normally a slight bag under the eye, which is caught the shadow once again. The eyebrow. The eyebrow. This eye is in this part of the shadow, and of course it's looking at once again in this direction. So hopefully you can see a face forming. The hairline, if this young man has a full head of hair, it's going to occur here. We'll get in his other ear. We'll comb his hair in this direction. Maybe some strands are falling in this direction. There's more shadow occurring that side of the face. The hair happens here. There may be just a slight wrinkling above. I say maybe because this is where you use your eyes and look carefully his expression and hope that you catch his mood and expression. Now this has all come about by the use of an egg. Now when it comes to a neck, we're talking about a cylinder, but it may, so let's have the cylinder here, but there'll be a shadow under here, that side, because that's where the light's coming once again, and it will be stronger here because that part is in much deeper shadow because the jutting of the chin is stronger than the other parts of the head. I hope that gives some idea of what we're about. Having shown you the sketches that an artist automatically starts on a blank canvas or piece of paper to start with, I'm now going to show you some finished products which have all started in the same way that we showed in the first place. This one is of Shirley Williams, very famous Liberal politician, a quiet, thoughtful lady, and I hope that you can see the thoughtfulness in her expression. David Jason, in his portrayal of Frost, the cheeky detective who, when he goes into a home, often asks, you know, put the kettle on, I fancy a cup of tea and so on, but he's also a very sincere and accurate detective. This young lady, slightly shy, I was asked to paint by her parents, and the shyness intrigued me. The one of Marilyn Monroe here was a commission given by a company that produces wall plates, and I did a few paintings of famous people, celebrities, Marilyn Monroe being one of them. This is quite different to the others because this is a magazine illustration for a story portraying a young boy that meets his grandfather's twin for the first time, and they really get together and hit it off. It also allowed me to produce some landscape painting in the background, which often enhances portraiture. This is an elderly Irish gardener that we had a while ago, and I caught him in the garden. And you know, if you're an artist, you see things and they stir you, and you just have to paint them. So I had to paint him.